The Royals brought James Shields to Kansas City to improve their pitching. They brought Big Game James for games like tonight. With only 5 weeks to go, every game is a big game. And tonight, an old foe comes to Kauffman Stadium. The Yankees have faced the bright lights before. They have faced Shields 29 times, and their captain has faced him 95 times. For one night only, it's the Royals and the Yankees next on Fox Sports Kansas City. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and Kansas City's heat has never felt better after a long road trip, and now the Royals are home for 10, beginning with the New York Yankees. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark. I'm Ryan Lefevre. James Shields will start the homestand tonight, trying to lead the Royals back to the postseason. You know, the Rays went 10 consecutive years with losing records, and then they went to the World Series in 2008. Big Game James won their first playoff game. He won their first and only World Series game. And now with the Royals since last year in deciding games, he's 9-1. And now in this important stretch leading up to the postseason, we hope, he's been very strong over his last 4. As always, we welcome in Rex Hudler, and this will be the 30th time the Yankees have faced James Shields. So you figure they know him, but that didn't do them any good back in June.
No, it doesn't, especially for any starting pitcher with his type of pedigree that can get the job done with those pitches. Man, he was good. He went 6 innings against them, didn't give up any earned runs, punched out 8. It was exciting to see his performance, especially when the Yankees had him on the ropes. They had plenty of runners in scoring position. They could only get 1 hit during that time. But James Shields did not disappoint. Using his defense, keeping his pitches down, that's been his signature. They expect it again tonight.
And he's our most trusted player of the game, presented by your Kansas City Honda dealers. The Yankees come to town. They haven't been scoring much lately, but they have won 4 in a row. Joe Goldberg will join us when we come back.
Just happened a few moments ago. It was brief at Derek Jeter's request, but a $10,000 check to Derek Jeter for his Turn 2 Foundation as the Royals honoring the Yankees captain, as this is his last ever, at least regular season appearance at Kauffman Stadium. Joel Goldberg back at the K. There was a video message and tribute that included players like Alex Gordon and James Shields and Eric Hosmer talking about how he was a role model to them and that they look up to Derek Jeter. And then, of course, there are the numbers, and they are unbelievable. 5 World Series rings, 3,439 hits, 6th all-time most by a Yankee, 200 postseason hits, and 2,651 games at shortstop, 2nd of all time. And as for Ned Yost, he's most impressed with Derek Jeter, the person.
It seems to me like he's never changed who he was. He's never forgotten who he was. He's never forgotten where he came from. He's never forgotten that this game is played to have fun, and he looks like he has fun when he plays the game. I think that he's a tremendous role model for, young baseball players all over the country, and I just think he's a phenomenal professional.
Well, James Shields had a nice message for his former American League East rival. Now he will try to get him out. And the Yankees. Big Game James takes the hill. First pitch is next.
Is brought to you by your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Make your move to Chevrolet today. By the Missouri Lottery, try the new Lucky Sevens playbook. And by ATT Uvers, find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world. Nice crowd gathering tonight for the Royals and the Yankees. When the Yankees were here back in early June, they were just 1 game above 500, and they were 6 games out. Now they're 6 games above 500, and they are still 6 games out. 3.5 back in the wild card. They'd still have to pass the Tigers and the Mariners to get that spot. And now the Yankees lineup. New York Yankees are 14th in the American League in runs scored. Not your typical Yankees lineup. And on Saturday, they ended a streak of 11 consecutive games not scoring more than 4 runs.
Yeah, you know what? It is what it is. But, they're battling. They got some veteran guys on there, and they will be tough tonight, I guarantee you.
Our Kia starting pitcher, James Shields, and Hud told you about his outing against the Yankees back on June the 8th. He was the winning pitcher. The Yankees had a lot of base runners in that game, but they only scored 1 run. It was unearned. And Shields struck out 8 in 6 innings, and Ellsbury is on the first pitch and drops it into center field for a game opening single.
Defensively, behind James Shields, we'll highlight Alex Gordon, and why not? Alex Gordon, fantastic with his overall play, but his arm, it really stands out. Had the most assists. Got a good outfield. Ned does out there, a lot of speed. Dyson in center, Low Kane in right. Now that right field sun for Lorenzo Cain in this inning could be a tester. To a guy who likes to inside out that ball. He hits the ball to right center field, even on inside pitches. Signature swing.
Royals finally had the opportunity to honor Derek Jeter. The Yankees are here because the game on June the 9th was rained out and had to be rescheduled for tonight. And on the 9th, the Royals are going to honor Derek Jeter. They made a nice donation to his charity and got a standing ovation as he was announced then and announced for this first at bat. In fact, many fans are still standing now with their cameras trying to capture what could be his last game at Kauffman Stadium. It's his last regular season game. We'll see what happens in the postseason. Good changeup, and it's 0-2.
Yep, that's James Shields' signature pitch. That ball moves in and down into righties and away from lefties. Now, if you're a Royals fan, you wouldn't mind seeing Jeter ground into his 15th double play of the season. That's what James Shields is hoping here.
Well, there's the ground ball. Did they get the out? They did. And Ellsbury and Escobar are tangled up near second base as Ellsbury went in hard.
Yeah, interesting how Escobar wanted to take that himself, and Infante was right there. Fortunately, both guys getting up with no problem. But the ball wasn't hit all that hard. It was a 2-hopper, actually 3-hopper, short hop. Escobar took it himself, completed the double play just barely, and you can see Infante jumping out of the way. That's a dangerous place to be on a sliding runner coming in for both players.
So Brian McCann with 2 outs, nobody on. He was the Yankee hero yesterday. He had a pinch hit walk-off 3-run home run at Yankee Stadium to beat the White Sox. The Yankees swept the White Sox over the weekend. The Yankees have won 4 in a row. Their season high is 5 wins in a row. A little bit low, and the count is 2-0.
James Shields, strong finisher. His August numbers are really good. So far this year, he's 3-0 with 4 quality starts this month. Strong finishers excite the managers that you play for and anybody else. That's how you gain respect in this game. It's how you finish, not how you start.
Doesn't matter where you hit it. A walk-off is a walk-off, but Brian McCann took full advantage of right field at Yankee Stadium. And a pitch down and in and hit it into that right field corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He has 15 home runs in his first year with the Yankees, going for his 7th consecutive season with at least 20 home runs. And he's on with a walk. And after the standing ovations for Derek Jeter, hardly any response at all to Carlos Beltran being introduced. One-time, long-time Royal here from '98 to 2004. And you remember the Royals really pursued him during the offseason, hoping that he would come to Kansas City, play some right field, mix in as the designated hitter, and he's had a very injury-plagued first season with the Yankees.
It's been tough for him. Very selective, patient. Hasn't had a lot of success against James Shields.
Two and one. Beltran has been on the disabled list with a right elbow injury and with a concussion.
What the Yankees will be seeing from James Shields, and many of these guys know him, is that two-seam sinking fastball. He'll cut his fastball as well. He's got a pretty nice little overhand curve he'll use, not as much. And then his changeup is a pitch that he uses about 20% of the time. Fastball, cut fastball, changeup, those are his pitches.
Three and two.
Going to use that fastball, a couple different varieties. That sinker and cutter sometimes causes some problems from hitters on both sides of the plate.
Went back with the same pitch and struck him out. Shields has a scoreless first at the top of the first inning. Royals coming up against Michael Pineda. Last time the Yankees were here back in early June, the Royals were 2 games under 500. They were 4 games out, and now the Royals are 15 games above 500 and a 2-game lead over the Tigers, beginning a 10-game homestand against the Yankees for one, then Minnesota, then Cleveland and Texas. And the Royals batting order tonight presented by your Midwest Ford dealers, with Gerard Dyson leading off, and for a second straight game, Raul Ibanez will be the designated hitter.
All right, lineup wants to get to Pineda early. In his career, he's got a 5.56 ERA in the first inning, including 6 home runs. Get him early. He's a big lad, 6'7", 270. Three-quarter arm slot, conventional delivery. 93 to 96 is his range of velocity. He's got a hard cutter he'll use. Sharp slider and a changeup.
He has a three-quarter hat slot as well. One ball, two strikes. Just like Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio and Reggie Jackson wore their Yankee hats.
Not exactly. However, it's a new generation, and even though the Yankees have some strict policies regarding the uniform that the guys wear out there, he'll use a lot of sliders. He's got a sharp breakdown. Uses it early in the count, and he'll also double up with it. Do it a couple different times. He'll use that changeup to left-handed batters. Started off the middle of the plate, and it ends up away from him, tailing away. You can bunt on him. Guy that big doesn't really move that well.
Safe.
Again, Jarrod Dyson, we've seen it all year now with him. Really becoming adept at hitting the top of the ball. And for a guy with his kind of speed, scouts have timed him 3-3, 3-4 from the left-hand side of the box, which is really awesome. That's a way above average speed time for a guy. Above average is 4-0. 20th infield hit now for Dyson. As far as moves goes on Pineda, he's a little bit below average, especially on bunts. And there's his throw. That's basically all he's got over there. He'll get that ball home at 1.3 to 1.5 as times to the plate. And if he does that anywhere now, that'll give Dyson plenty of chance and plenty of time to steal him a bag. If he does that, it'll be his 29th.
Dyson was going. Pineda backed off, and Dyson took a step towards second.
Sometimes, you know, that's a purpose step off just for that reason. Manager wants to see the runner if he's giving any indication that he's going to go or not. And then the manager is the one who controls the pitch outs. So usually the catchers will look in after he gives the sign to the pitcher, and the manager will touch his hat a couple different spots and let him know whether to pitch out or hold it, or see, you can see McCann looking in there. And after seeing Dyson, the previous step off, looked like he was going, they could pitch out.
Dyson is not running, and it's a strike to Infante.
Most hitters will tell you at this level they love the fastball. But Infante, if he gets something out over the middle, he rarely misses him. Oh, too bad. He slipped. Tried to get a little extra step, did Jarrod Dyson. And on his way back to the bag, he lost his footing and he couldn't get back. You see him really leaning. Haven't seen him do that all year. Tough break early for the offense.
Off the end of the bat, and charging in is Prado to make the play. 2 down.
Defensively behind Pineda, we got to highlight Derek Jeter. This is the last time he'll ever set foot in the K as a player. He's he wears the gold. 5-time to go along with his championship rings. Everybody shifts over on Alex Gordon first time up. Jeter's the only lone fielder on the left side. He's playing third base. See that nice little triangle type defense there. They're not really deep on him, but they are playing him to the pull side.
Alex had 3 home runs and drove in 4 during the road trip, and now has 15 home runs, tying him with Salvador Perez for the team lead. 1-2.
There's a few Royals, only 2 in the lineup that have never faced Pineda coming in. Alex is not one of them. He's got a couple of hits.
Over the outside to strike him out. So Royals get a leadoff single. Pineda picks off a runner and faces just 3 in the first inning. Irish Fest, and starting at just $20, you'll receive a ticket to watch the Royals and the Twins on Wednesday, and also get a free single-day admission to this weekend's Kansas City Irish Fest. So you can enjoy a night out at Kauffman Stadium and then gear up for a fun-filled Irish Fest. For tickets and more information, visit Royals.com/Irish. Stephen Drew, Martin Prado, and Chase Headley, 3 guys that were not with the Yankees when they were here with June. In fact, in their starting lineup tonight, 7 of the 9 weren't with the Yankees last year. A little bit high from Shields.
See how they're playing Stephen Drew. Dyson in center field, a little bit slightly to the opposite field. Everybody else pretty much straight up. Moose playing him a little bit to pull, but typically a third baseman when a lefty's up, any lefty, is going to play usually even with the bag and over in the hole some.
Tough hop for Billy, but he's got it, and over to Shields for the out. It was a good thing he got it.
Or he really would have got it. Yeah, look at that ready position by Billy. He says, all right, I'm going to back up a little bit, make sure I cradle it in there, get some momentum going forward so I've got something on my feed. That's important. Ooh, it did catch him a little bit, but he caught the ball and made the out. That's all that matters.
And now Martin Prado. He had just been traded from Arizona to New York prior to the Royals being in Arizona a couple of road trips ago. Brett Gardner, the Yankees regular left fielder, one of the fastest guys in the league. He's been bothered by a sore ankle. Fouled a ball off of his right ankle on Saturday. Was not in the lineup yesterday against Chicago and not in there tonight against the Royals. Now to Moustakas. He gets a nice big hop, and there are two down. James Shields, 5th in the American League in innings pitched, and our Toyota League leaders show us that the Royals starting rotation leads the American League. Very slim advantage over the Detroit Tigers. Dayton Moore, day one as Royals general manager back in the middle of the 2006 season, talked about at some point the goal of getting a starting rotation that can pitch 1,000 innings. And right now they're on pace for that and a little more, 1,005 if they stay at this same rate. Oh, and 2 on Chase Headley, former San Diego Padre. Jeremy Guthrie working on another 200 inning season. It would be his 5th in the last 6 seasons. He has 166 2/3 innings, second to Shields. Two and two.
You know, you were talking about Gardner not being in there. That's really a break for Ned Yost and the Royals. Because if the Yankees would have an MVP today, it would be Gardner. He's really meant a lot to this ball club, and for him not to be here for this one game, really, it's a good break.
Second strikeout for Shields, and he gets the Yankees very quickly in the second inning.
Big game looks on. He's going to have to get him some offensive numbers.
He is grounded into a double play tonight. He's the subject of our sprint question of the night. The greatest all-around shortstop in the American League since 1980. Jeter has the 5 championships. Cal Ripken Jr., he kind of redefined a new era for shortstops. And then Omar Vizquel, he was the defensive whiz, 11 Gold Gloves, including 9 in a row. Some thought the Baltimore Orioles had lost their minds when they put somebody the size of Cal Ripken at shortstop. Not only a good hitter, but big. Then we had Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter. Jeter's big. Jeter's 6'4", by the way. Nomar Garciaparra, Miguel Tejada, all of a sudden these shortstops that could hit and hit for power.
Yep, I agree with you. I mean, these guys in our era redefined the position. Back in the day, all you had to do was bring your glove, hit once in a while. Now they're stuck in offense. Boy, that almost got him. Folks, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Billy had 2 home runs in the Texas series. Continues to produce in the second half and over his last 20 games. And his average will go up with that base hit. So right at 340, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs in his last 20 games. And he's telling Chase Headley all about it. Sal didn't have many hits on the road trip, but he had 5 RBIs and got the day off on Saturday. Back in there again yesterday. He had a big series against the Yankees back in June. Caught at second base, and Billy saw it. So no throw from Drew, and there's one out.
Drew's a solid middle infielder. Put him anywhere. Now he's playing Salvi to pull, and on contact, I'm sure Salvi thought he might have a base hit on that. But Drew, very valuable glove guy. He knew he was going to have a tough offensive year this year. When you miss spring training in the first couple of months of the season with no reps, no timing or anything, you're not going to hit much. And he's well under 200 with his average.
Strike to Raul Ibanez. This is start number 3 for Pineda since coming off the disabled list, still having problems with his shoulder. And since coming back, fewer fastballs and more sliders. And good success. It's just a couple of starts, but allowing just a 162 opponent's batting average.
Speaking of that, he's only allowed 6 or fewer hits in each of his last 14 starts. He's really tough to hit. He's tough to square up. That slider is really an effective pitch. There it was there. And he'll double up with that thing. And like you mentioned, Rhino, since the surgery, he's trying to build his arm strength back, but still has really good command, good control of it. On that pitch there, it slowed down. You could see the dot. There's a little dot on the ball. Hitters can see that when it comes towards them. You can see a dot for just a split second, and you know that's a pretty tight slider.
Another tight slider, and Ibanez strikes out, and that's Pineda's first. Make that number 2 as he got Gordon to end the first inning.
Might be some fans out there wondering why Willingham's not in there. Well, Ned's going with the matchup. He likes Ibanez in there, taking his chances. But that young man will be ready.
One advantage a hitter can have off a guy like Pineda is everything's hard. Doesn't really have a big change in between his speeds, between his off speed and his fastball. So that's a little advantage. You can just look hard at the plate and out over for your spot.
Kane, good swing and fouled it back, and it's 0-2. He had a big series in Texas. He was 6 for 11.
That was a nice short swing there. His changeup is his slowest pitch, and it is most pitchers. Changeup, though, he's going to go 88 to 90 with it. So that's what I'm saying. Everything's hard.
Still 0-2.
Got a pretty nice breeze here at the K tonight, favoring the right-handed batter. Wind looks like it's blowing out to left. Not in a very large wind gust, but the flags are blowing pretty good.
Shallow center field, and Ellsbury will make the play. Second straight inning, Royals get a leadoff single. Butler stranded at first. No score. Soon to College and King in Overland Park. By your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. Hot in Kansas City, and not as many people walking around the plaza right now on a day like today, unless they can find some shade. There's Eric Hosmer in the Royals dugout as we get ready for the top of the third inning and check in with Joe Goldberg.
And Eric Hosmer has some reason to be smiling, Ryan, because he and the Royals got some good news today. They got that hand rescanned, and this time they felt like the healing, it was good healing going on, and he is ready to take the next step. When they had scanned it a week and a half ago, they still wanted to give it some more time, make sure that he didn't re-injure it in any way and potentially make it worse. And so he's good to go. Ned Yost saying that the healing process is real good, very encouraging. The next steps now are to start taking some swings. That ball right back to James Shields, who's going to throw it away. Well, Ichiro will be on second base, as he has so many times in his career. found ways to beat the Royals, and on that one, it's Shields throwing it away. But, guys, good news on Hosmer. Going to be a process now for him. Take some dry swings and then work up to hitting off the tee, soft toss, and then hopefully go out, he was saying, on a rehab assignment. Could end up being over to Omaha in the playoffs. We'll see what happens with that.
All right, Joel, good to see him without his cast on. Saw Eric yesterday mingling with a Royals fan, and first thing he recognized was that black cast he's had on his wrist. And we joked that that's probably the most famous cast in Kansas City. And no more cast.
Really good news for him. But you know what he's been doing? Reinforcing the positives from his teammates coming in off the field. Had a nice little chat with Haas, and he said, you know what, it's painful to watch. Happy the fellas are doing great, but you know what I can do, and that is bring some life, a little bit of energy in that dugout when they come in, and that's really all you can give when you're on the disabled list. Some encouragement.
Zealous Wheeler playing third base for the Yankees. We've seen Zealous Wheeler before in spring training when he was in the Brewers organization. 19th round pick out of Alabama. He has also been in the Orioles organization. That was last year and the year before. Got to the big leagues for the first time this year, and in his first big league game he hit a home run.
Good for him. 8 years he had to wait. It's a long time in the minors, but he's a versatile player. It's the reason he's here.
Does he remind you at all of a former Yankee third baseman? Didn't play his entire career with the Yankees. He had a nice long career, mid 80s, late 80s into the mid 90s.
Charlie Hayes.
Exactly who I was thinking about. Who I believe caught the final out of one of the Yankees championships, maybe the '96 championship.
He did.
And now Wheeler walks. That's 2 for Shields, and puts 2 on with nobody out.
Now, some in the Yankee camp believe that Ellsbury is a little better leadoff hitter than Gardner has been this year. As you can see, they're talking about the possibility of him bunting. And they're saying that because Ellsbury is a lot more aggressive when he's on the bases. He steals. Gardner a little bit more hesitant out there. So that's the only reason that they think that he's a little bit more of a legitimate leadoff guy. Now, will he bunt? Certainly has the skills to do it. And the way that Yankees have been scoring runs, not many, I wouldn't be surprised to see him give himself up, move the runners.
Got the corner guys on the grass. Ooh, that was not a bunt. It was a shot foul. 0-1. All those years with the Red Sox, all of Shields' years with the Rays, so there's a lot of history. Oh, and 2. Looking at some of the best hitters against the Royals in history. 2 of them are in the lineup tonight. Ellsbury and Suzuki. And we just saw number 5 on the list over the weekend, Adrian Beltre, and he had a big series against the Royals again.
Ellsbury trying to pull the ball. Getting everything in. Ellsbury, a .291 hitter with a runner in scoring position this season for the Yankees. Yankees overall are .251 as a team in clutch situations.
Out to Billy, big hop, throws a strike to Escobar, so the Royals get one out and they keep the double play in order. Suzuki goes to third and Ellsbury is at first.
Okay, nice play by Billy. Get that second hop, spins, throws a nice ball. Good shot over to Escobar, but anyone with a little lesser speed than Ellsbury probably would have doubled him up.
So history with Ellsbury and Shields, but nothing compared to Jeter and Shields. And when Jeter grounded out in the first inning, that was his 96th career at bat or plate appearance against James Shields.
Now I got him to ground into a double play the first time. I doubt he'll do it here because I think Ellsbury's going to be stealing. Ellsbury 35 of 40 this year in steals.
Tied him up and he fouled it away. So 96 plate appearances, 89 at bats. That's the third most for Jeter against any pitcher in his long career. He had 114 at bats against the knuckleballer Tim Wakefield, which was probably 114 too many in his mind.
That's amazing. You stay in the league long enough.
Got to have the perfect combination of two players with long careers with the same team, or at least in the same division. In this case, Wakefield with the Red Sox, Jeter with the Yankees. And then at a time when we went to the unbalanced schedule where you play so many more games in the division than you did compared to 20 years ago. And by the way, Jeter hit .298 against Wakefield, those 114 at bats. Ellsbury running, no double play this time. A run will score, and as it stands right now, that's an unearned run, and Shields has allowed the most in the American League and second most in the major leagues as Suzuki comes down from third.
So Jeter did it again, but I knew Ellsbury would be running. Girardi, he wants to keep him out of a double play. That's what you do. You send your runner. There would have been no chance at second base had he even shuffled it over to Infante. I mean, Escobar has quick hands, but not that quick.
Ryan McCann almost hit on the knee. Ball one. He walked in the first inning. One and one. Ryan McCann, his first year as a Yankee, he was a 7-time All-Star with the Braves. Jammed him. Billy will take it himself, and that's the inning. So the error leads to a run, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. And join us for Social Media Night presented by AOS Technology. That's Thursday when the Royals close the series with Minnesota. Special ticket package includes a free pair of Royals social sunglasses, access to the pregame social hour at Rivals, and a Q&A with Joel Goldberg and Bruce Chen, and a chance to win prizes. For tickets, go to Royals.com/RoyalsSocial. Let's do a little clerical housekeeping. When Suzuki reached, it was scored a base hit and an error, so he would have been on. The walk would have pushed him to second base, so it's an earned run charged to Shields, even though his error originally put him to second base and nobody out. Ball one to Mike Moustakas, who hit .290 on the road trip.
That was the 19th error by a Royals pitcher this year. High number.
He has tied a season high with a 5-game hitting streak, and he has a season high .207 average. He will add to that with a home run to tie the game at 1.
No question, the Moose has been loose. We just showed you the 5-game hitting streak. And he just pumped that one over the yard. I mean, on the line for his 15th. That ball was elevated up in the zone. Short, quick to the ball. Nice contact out in front of the plate. Beautiful. Good first AB. That makes him 2 for 4 now. Career off against Pineda.
And it ties him for the team lead in home runs with Salvador Perez and Alex Gordon. Hit hard, but right to Headley at first base. Tough luck for Escobar. 1 down.
Talked about what hitters like and what they don't like. Most hitters will tell you they don't like slop ballers, guys that are thumbers, guys that throw in the 70s and in the low 80s. They're harder for timing. But when you face a guy like Pineda who throws everything hard, that's what you like. You like it coming up there firm. Now, if he puts a little wrinkle on it and he cuts it and slides it, that's okay too, because it's all basically about the same speed. You can still catch it.
Dyson reached with an infield single in the first inning. So again, we go back to the balance of the Royals offense. No big home run numbers, but 3 with 15. And look at this balance. 40 more RBIs this time of year. That's not a big number, but the Royals have the most players with that many. They have 8. 100 hits this time of year is not a huge number, but the Royals have the most 100 hit guys in the major leagues. And yesterday, Lorenzo Cain hit 20 stolen bases for the first time in his career, and the Royals have the most players with at least 20 stolen bases in the major leagues.
Yeah, and that's what makes the Royals such a tough team to play against, to try to pitch against, because it's not one guy you're trying to pitch around. And there's 6 guys with 20 doubles or more on the team, so they're spreading that little extra base hits around. They make contact, they put the ball in play, they're dangerous. Third in the American League in hits now, the Royals are. 1,167 coming in.
Two hops out to Wheeler, and he'll take care of Dyson. 2 down in the 3rd inning.
Something to be said for versatility. That's why Wheeler's on this Yankees team. He can play a little bit of short. He plays some second base, and he's played some right field for the Yankees.
Infante flied out to left field in the 1st inning. Infante tied for the team lead with 6 RBIs during the trip, and 4 of those in one game. It was on Tuesday in Colorado when he had 4 hits and 3 doubles. 0-2 against Pineda. Right at Suzuki in right field. He'll make the play. The Royals tie the game on Mike Moustakas' home run. He has a season best 6-game hitting streak. The Royals have homered in 5 straight games, and we're tied at 1.
The league, as this will be our Mazda game break, and Miguel Cabrera just 1 home run since July 26th, and that .350 slugging percentage, 90th among major leaguers. Sean Doolittle, the all-star closer, goes on the DL with a right intercostal strain. That could be a few weeks to months. And then Trevor Plouffe and Danny Santana, Royals will see them tomorrow, named co-American League Players of the Week. So those bits of news all involving the Royals perhaps and playoff teams. And then a couple of other notes, guys, to pass along for you. Also, Tim Lincecum, saw him recently continuing to struggle. He's been moved to the bullpen by San Francisco. And Shin-Soo Choo, who hit a home run over the weekend against the Royals, is out for the year. Bone spurs, going to have surgery. The Royals see them next week.
Thank you, Joel. As Shields takes care of Beltran to begin the 4th inning. Shields committed a throwing error in the third against the leadoff hitter Suzuki.
Yep, he's able to handle that with no problem in a little backhand card flip to Billy. And Fonte likely would have been there for him.
He has been a ground ball pitcher so far tonight. 8 outs on the ground, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. And he got a ground ball out against Stephen Drew in the second inning. At the knees for a strike.
And that's the James Shields they want to see. He had a period during the year this year where everything was elevated, and you know, when you're out over the middle of the plate, hitters will let you know. They pounded him. They jumped all over James Shields. People were a little bit nervous about James, but really he just made a few mechanical adjustments and was able to get that thing working down with some sharp, crisp action on it. That little cutter there was beautiful. Staying down, that's his signature. He's got pitches that go east, west, down.
One and 2 on Drew. Staying inside, the count from 0-2 to 3-2. Martin Prado is on deck. Stephen Drew, famous along with Kendrys Morales for turning down the qualifying offer at the end of last year, and that cost him, especially on the field. The time that he missed before signing back with the Red Sox had hurt him prior to that swing as he puts the Yankees in front 2-1. Home run number 6 for Drew. He was batting just 172 when the game started, and the Yankees regained the lead.
He knew exactly what was coming. Now, just because you know what's coming doesn't mean you can square it up, but James did exactly what we talked about him doing midway through this year. He elevated, and that ball was in, and he caught it right. Got to give him some credit for being able to turn and burn on that. Kept his hands inside. Ball didn't hook the pole.
Now strike to Prado. He was out on a ground ball to third in the second inning.
20th home run overall James Shields has given up this year. That's 9 to left-handed bats and 11 to right-handed bats.
That's pulled into the crowd. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Martin Prado. Versatile player, can play outfield and infield. A few years ago he was with the Braves and he was playing on a regular basis on the infield, and now the last couple of years with the Diamondbacks of the Yankees playing in the outfield, and he pokes it up the left field line and down into the corner. Nothing Alex can do as Prado has a 1-out double.
Stayed with that changeup. Caught it out front, stayed with it. Salvi was about ready to catch it on the ground. Alex has a lot of pride in throwing runners out at second base, but there wasn't much he could do with that. The ball got a little bit too deep in left field for him to try to throw him out at second.
Fouled away by Headley.
Let's go back to the pitch to Stephen Drew. Now, having James Shields having him down 0-2 in the count, okay, he'd like to put him away sooner. But a guy hitting under 200 like that, 3-2 count, you're going to challenge him. You're going to challenge him to make him do that, and that's exactly what Drew did.
And now a long run for Alex to the line. He'll catch up to it. 2 down. Long lines, I'm sure, at the concession stands for cold drinks. That little girl, he's got possession of a blue snow cone.
That's awesome.
Although I think she would probably eat that on a cold day.
Great to be home and wonderful to see Royals fans in the stands. It's beautiful, young and old.
Suzuki reached with a single in the 3rd inning. And as he was running up the line, Shields threw it away. Suzuki went to second base, eventually scored the Yankees' first run. Late on a fastball. Dyson was shallow, that ball carrying, and Dyson catches up to it. Stephen Drew homers for the first time in his career against James Shields and puts the Yankees back out in front 2-1. Baseball cap presented by Grundfos. That's Friday. The Indians are here And the first 10,000 fans will walk home with a brand new baseball cap made from 100% recyclable materials. It's also Buck Night in the last fireworks show of the season, so that's coming up on Friday. And with that, we welcome in Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, who has the hat on and just had hip surgery. And your new hip is made from 100% recycled water bottles too, right?
I'm not so sure about that. I hope not.
How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel like I have an eco hip maybe going now, but other than that, I feel great. I'm progressing every day, a little closer, and just hope everything goes well and able to get back at it in full strength.
Was it exactly what the doctors were expecting to see once they got in there?
Well, my doctor informed me that I was very arthritic and I needed the procedure, so I'm glad now that I've got that procedure behind me, so to speak.
Up and walking around, he walked right into the booth. 2-0 on Alex Gordon from Michael Pineda. Alex will be followed by Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. And I assume you didn't miss any games when we were on the road trip.
I didn't miss any games. In fact, I don't know that I missed any pitches. You guys did a great job, and it was fun to really kind of be an outsider looking in, seeing this team really put it all together. People ask me, is it too early to pinch ourselves and believe that this is the team? And by the way they've done things, by the way that they've been resilient, they've lost some games to some teams, and they've not gone in that spell where they've gone on to lose 8 out of 9 games. They've just stayed very alive. And I also like the fact that there's really not been one player on this team that's carried the load. Everybody's kind of shared the responsibility. Everybody's kind of stayed within themselves, and have done exactly what this team was built to do from the start.
And it seems like at least once a week, somebody who doesn't know Ned Yost, a member of the media, and I do it from time to time, we start talking about important games, important series, important homestands, important road trips. And Ned doesn't want any of that. And I think we learned in 2010 that he really wanted these guys to get past that. Every single game's important. And I think we are seeing the results of that, in that you really can't tell whether the Royals are playing a first place team or a last place team.
Well, I think one sign is the fact that when they had that hot streak back in May and early June, they won the 10 games in a row. After they lost that next game, they ended up losing 6 out of 7 games. And I think that's a great maturity process for this team, because, again, they've been resilient now. They haven't gone in the tank after losing a game. Regardless of how they've lost the game, they've been able to bounce back and be a team that's not allowed themselves to kind of get in that pit and go down and put pressure on themselves and do some of the things that we saw them do earlier in the season. So I think it's been a really good maturation process for this team, the fact that now they've been through this before.
Billy Butler singled his first time up. The Royals have 3 hits against Pineda in 3 1/3 innings.
Monty, how about the timing of the Willingham trade, and the fact that we got him right there in their 8-game winning streak? They were on fire. They gave him a little bit of a pickup, but he looks pretty good in there in the middle of that order, doesn't he?
Well, the thing I like is his patience at the plate, and it almost appeared to me as though guys that they seem to be really kind of taking that same lead. They're very patient at the plate. They're not chasing pitchers. They're making the pitcher get them out now, and that's one thing about Willingham. He's a guy that's going to make you throw a strike. He's going to make you throw the pitch, and at some point you got to give him one. Otherwise, he's going to take a walk.
With Billy's single in the second inning, now he's hit .346 in his last 21 games. You try and ask Ned Yost, do you think that has anything to do with Billy playing first base? Of course, Ned will say, I don't know, you have to ask Billy. And who knows? There's really no scientific way to prove it one way or the other than to say it's a very interesting coincidence.
Very interesting, and I think just watching Billy have fun playing baseball has made all the difference in the world, and the fact that he's able to go out and play now on both sides of the ball. I think it's a lot easier as a designated hitter when things are going well and you're putting up the numbers that they're expecting from you and what you're accustomed to from yourself. And when you struggle, I've never had to be a designated hitter, Rex. I don't know what it's like to go in there and wait for 2 or 3 innings before you have another at bat. I know as a pitcher it's tough because sometimes you sit on that bullpen for 3 or 4 days when you're struggling. It's tough. But as a player now, Billy going out and playing first base, you know, he's picked up the slack from Eric Hosmer from his injury, and as a part of that, he's really got his game back together.
Hard slider, or a fastball at least cutting like a slider. So Pineda strikes out Butler, 2 down.
Now I can tell you DH, and it's for the birds. It's only special few guys can do it. And you know, if you look around the American League, there's only really a few full-time DHs. Most managers now in the American League are rotating their DH around. Really, Big Papi and Billy, and I don't know if you can think of any others that are full-time DHs now, but it's a rotating position.
Well, a couple guys coming to mind from past with Edgar Martinez and Hal McRae, guys have really adapted to that position well. But for most guys, it's a real adjustment.
Monty, what do you think of the 6'7", 270-pound Pineda?
I'll tell you what, he's got electric stuff, and you know, after he missed that time from being on the suspension from the pine tar incident, had a little bit of an issue with his elbow as far as, or I'm sorry, his shoulder, with some stiffness in his shoulder, but he's now starting to get full strength, and his stuff, as you can see here, is just electric stuff, and you know, he's going to be a real force for these Yankees.
Caught at third by Wheeler. So Perez has lined out twice. Tough luck 0 for 2. 2-1 Yankees at the end of 4. That's why that family has big smiles on their faces. Remember to vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com/Royals, and you'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. Yankees have RBIs from Jeter and Drew. Royals have a home run from Moustakas. It'll be Zealous, Wheeler, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Derek Jeter in the 5th inning against Shields. Wheeler walked his first time. Good hard breaking ball in for a strike as we continue to visit with Jeff Montgomery. Glad to have him back after the hip surgery, and it wouldn't be right to have you here and not talk about the back end of the bullpen. As Wheeler grounds to short, and let me lead you into how quickly things have changed for the Royals. Last year it was all about getting to Greg Holland. And then about a month or so into this season, maybe 2 months in, okay, let's get it to Wade Davis. And now all of a sudden, let's just get it to Kelvin Herrera.
And that's really been the difference. This has been turned into a 6-inning ball game for Ned Yost and these Royals. If they have a way to get a lead through 6 innings, their odds of winning are just astronomical. So that's a really luxurious position for anyone, any team to be in when you have the guys that are contributing the way that those 3 guys in particular have. Now, they're going to need some contributions from everyone in that bullpen because still 33 games left in this year, so they need some guys to grind out some innings and probably some quality innings at times.
Ellsbury is singled and reached on a fielder's choice.
Monty, got to share with the audience today. Derek Jeter was in the visiting dugout, and I got a chance to talk to him a little bit about any memories he has with the Royals. And he goes, yeah, you know, I only hit 2 inside the park home runs. How about that as number in my career? And I go, really? And he goes, both of them were against the Royals. About that time, Monty, you come walking down the steps. Derek says, hey, Monty, how you doing? I go, hey, Monty, did you ever face Jeter? He goes, yeah, as a matter of fact, Hud. Tell him what happened.
I gave up the other inside the park home run to Derek Jeter. It was actually his 6th career home run in 1996. He hit a ball here in Kauffman Stadium towards center field, and Tom Goodwin goes back and has a beat on the ball. Unfortunately, didn't make the play like Billy Butler did so nicely here to James Shields. But anyway, Tom Goodwin didn't make the play. He crashes into the wall and he goes down. I think he broke his wrist or his thumb or something on his hand, and Derek Jeter circles the wagon for an inside the park home run, his first career inside the Parker. Then his other one happened. David DeJesus crashes against the wall, and David DeJesus ends up going on the disabled list as well. So Derek Jeter was responsible for 2 inside the park home runs here at Kauffman Stadium and 2 center fielders on the disabled list as a result.
Yeah, one was here, one was in New York. But when you brought up, you put 2 of our guys in the DL on both of those. Derek was like, oh no, look, I didn't mean to do that. You know, obviously you didn't, but that's pretty interesting.
It was very unique. And you could tell from that. I mean, it was 1996, early in his career, but you could tell that he was a type player, not just going to run hard 90 feet. You know, he's going to run hard to circle the bases. So he's been that type player and such a class act, and very happy to see baseball giving him the type of respect and the farewell they've given him.
And we also asked him, you know, how about some of the gifts you received this year? Any one stand out more than the other? And he was quick to say, no, every gift fits the city that I went to. Every gift has been special for each city.
Two and one on Jeter while we have Monty in the booth. Our sprint question of the day: who has been the greatest all-around shortstop since 1980? 57%. Go with Cal Ripken Jr. Omar Vizquel, that was his number 13. He gets 13%. We were talking about how Ripken 2 and 2 on Jeter. Ripken really kind of changed people's mindset when it came to what a shortstop can do, more than just with the glove.
And I think partially because of the size that you were talking about earlier allowed him to be such a durable player, because playing shortstop, you're going to get beat up a lot. Guys crashing into second base on stolen base attempts, turning 2. But from what I've been told, sliding into Cal Ripken was like sliding into a fire hydrant. So he was pretty well put together.
Jeter, there he is, running hard as he always does. He grounds out to short for the 3rd time tonight. And Shields has a quick top of the 5th inning. Royals baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. .94 degrees at first pitch with a heat index of 101. So Kansas City summer did finally arrive. You had a very important day today, the Jeff Montgomery Golf Classic. Not your first, but there was a first at the Classic this year.
Exactly. Our 13th annual golf event to benefit the Medical Missions Foundation. And the good folks from Barron BMW sponsored a hole-in-one for a BMW for a hole-in-one on hole number 8 at Shadow Glen. And sure enough, Brian Sullivan, a friend of ours, hits a hole-in-one, and he drove home a new BMW.
No way.
Yes, indeed.
That never happens.
Well, it hardly ever happens, but today it did. So it was a first for our event. We're very excited about it.
Oh, wonderful job, BMW. Thank you.
How many of the 13 years did you have a car for a hole-in-one?
We normally have at least 2, sometimes 3 on each hole, but this year we only had 1 hole that was sponsored. And sure enough, it was on number 8, and Sully hit the hole-in-one. And I have to also thank the good folks at Fox Sports Kansas City for donating a suite out at Kauffman Stadium here, coming up for the Tiger Series later in September, and that was auctioned off and went for a lot of money. So great fundraising event today, and very proud to be part of that Medical Missions Foundation.
What is yours and Tina's connection to the Medical Missions Foundation?
Well, we didn't have anything direct, but some friends of ours invited us to be part of it, and later I was asked to put my name on the charity golf event. And sure enough, it's just been a long-lasting relationship, and a lot of local folks in the medical community here in Kansas City donate their expertise and their time and go to third world countries and change lives. They allow surgeries that wouldn't be able to be done, cleft palate surgeries, joint replacement surgeries, things of that nature. So they change lives of a lot of children, also a lot of vision related techniques that are done abroad. So a lot of applause out to those in the medical community who make a difference.
Oh, solid, Monty. Way to go.
Into the shift, and Stephen Drew out in shallow right field. Throws out Raul Ibanez.
Tell you what, the Royals, they're putting some good, solid contact on Pineda. Just not able to find any holes.
Well, I think they're really, everybody's feeling so good in this lineup. You know, you want to score some runs, but you got to hit the ball hard in order to get in some holes. Hopefully they'll start to find some grass in that outfield.
Maybe they start hitting a few soft, then go over the wall.
Lorenzo Cain flying to center field in the second inning. Tell you one thing I'm sure you could get a feel for watching on television when we were on the road. I can't ever remember a road trip with so many Royals fans. A lot of Royals fans in Minnesota. They really stood out in that 2-game series in Colorado, and then there were a lot of Royals fans over the weekend in Texas.
Well, typically we've gotten a lot of fans over the years that have gone to Texas to watch the series because of the proximity, and Minnesota, new ballpark, a lot of people there. But I was like you in Denver when I heard the crowd. Obviously the Rockies have not had a good season, especially the second half of the season, but when the Royals did something great, you could tell immediately from the television response that the crowd was behind the Royals.
Yep. Let's go Royals chants were there. And in Texas, the Rangers, a couple of the people that worked for the Rangers said, we can't remember ever a let's go Royals chant in our ballpark.
They got the fever.
Believe it.
Spent a lot of time yesterday with our Sunday afternoon with Denny talking about Steve Busby, and then Steve Busby talking about when he was with the Royals in the mid-70s, and that was a team with a lot of young players that were acquired by way of trades with National League teams, and how that all came together, and the Royals became a model franchise after that as Pineda strikes out Cain. And 2 down in the 4th inning. And on that topic, we'll remind you of Retro Night, which is coming up on Saturday with the Indians here. We're celebrating 1974. Both teams will be wearing throwback uniforms. Members of the 1974 Royals alumni will be here, including Al Fitzmaurice, Dennis Leonard, John Mayberry, and Marty Patton. And the first 10,000 fans get that bobblehead, the Mr. Baseball bobblehead, or the Mr. Royal bobblehead. For tickets, Royals.com/retro night. Ball one to Mike Moustakas.
Monty, you see those 2014 jerseys that Moose has got to their button down. Now these retro, they don't have any buttons on them. Did you ever have any uniforms like that, like this?
I don't believe so with the Royals, but my first year in the major leagues with the Reds, we had exactly the same thing. They were not a button down type as a pullover, just almost like a t-shirt type thing, just like this.
Yeah, it's a different look. You know, and I played on a few teams saying I prefer the button downs, but you know what? A big league uniform is a big league uniform.
Got that right.
Especially how beautiful this one is. White home color with a nice royal blue.
Pineda's allowed 1 run, and that was a home run to Moustakas in the 3rd inning. Moustakas leading off the inning. He has a season-high 6-game hitting streak. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Guys, I was talking with Larry Rothschild, the Yankees pitching coach, earlier about Pineda, and he said that he just really now getting to full strength because of that time that he had off. So, again, he's a guy that, like Vargas with the Royals when he had the appendectomy, it takes a while to get things going back, and it kind of looks like tonight that Pineda's starting to reach that full strength.
A lot of experience, that gentleman right there, Larry Rothschild.
Well, you went through that, Monty, and you know it's one thing for the doctor to say, and I'm sure it'll be the same with your hip, Monty, everything looks fine, but it's another thing in your mind to say I can really let loose like I did before the injury.
It's exactly what it is. It's progression. It's going to that next plateau, that next level, and proving to yourself and everyone else that you're okay.
Remember the Yankees and Mariners with a pretty high-profile trade. Pineda was one of the best young pitchers in the American League when he went to the Yankees, and they got Jesus Montero, who was at the time considered the Yankees' #1 prospect. Moustakas strikes out on a changeup. It was a changeup that he hit out in the 3rd inning. So Pineda strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 5th inning. Monty, thank you. We'll look forward to hearing you on Boulevard Royals Live.
Sounds good.
Glad you're back, Monty.
Thanks.
The Mona Lisa of baseball. Here's what's coming up at Kauffman Stadium. First of all, a 10-game homestand. The Yankees only for tonight. Then Minnesota for 3. Cleveland for 3. Texas for 3. Irish Heritage Night on Wednesday. And the Royals are giving away a Shamrock Green Cup set on Wednesday. And we mentioned Social Media Night on Thursday. It's also a Gordo Nation. And we just announced that the Q&A out in Rivals for Social Media Night will include both Joel and Bruce Chen.
Ah, that's excellent. Bruce, or Joel have a little company with Bruce.
McCann grounds out. He is 0 for 2. And with regard to the pitching matchups in the Minnesota series, Danny Duffy against Ricky Nolasco in Game 1. Giordano Ventura and Phil Hughes on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, Jeremy Guthrie and Tommy Malone. Don't forget, tomorrow's game is not on Fox Sports Kansas City. It is on Fox Sports 1, as we'll combine the Royals and Twins broadcast team. Fizz will be doing the game with Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven. Carlos Beltran has struck out and grounded back to Shields. Beltran has just 5 hits in his last 38 at-bats. He has been really tough on the Royals since leaving KC. Most of that with the Cardinals for a couple of years. But the 2 times the Royals have seen the Yankees this year, Beltran's been in the middle of a slump. Two and two. Going into the Royals dugout. Pitch number 80 coming up. And Beltran beats the shift. So with the infielders at their normal depth in alignment, that's probably a routine ground ball to Omar Infante, but Beltran gets it through 3 infielders on the right side. So again, Fox Sports 1, that's tomorrow night, Royals and the Twins. Royals getting more national exposure. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 on Fox Sports 1. And then the game on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Tell you, Fizz and Bert, that's going to be great. I'm hoping to catch some of that. You know, the Royals are exciting. They're fun to watch, no doubt about it. But Fizz is going to be able to take care of Bert Blyleven. Is he going to be able to harness him?
He was one of my first broadcast partners with a former team. And he was a lot of fun. He had just broken into broadcasting, and he used some terms very early in his broadcast career that we had to explain, and he picked up on it very quickly that, you know, those might work in the clubhouse, but with a family audience, you might want to reword a few of those.
Yes.
And he might set your shoe on fire. He might throw a brick of firecrackers in the booth when you're filling out your lineup card.
Yep.
You always want to keep Bert in front of you and both eyes on him at all times.
That's right. Character. Great Hall of Fame pitcher in his day. Denny Matthews says he had the best breaking ball, curveball he's ever seen.
Two and two on Stephen Drew. He's the difference in the game right now. He had a 1-out home run in the 4th inning, just inside the right field foul pole. So struggling for the most part this year. He's hitting 176, but against James Shields, he is 7 for 13. That was his first home run against Shields. Still 2 and 2. completely different start for Shields tonight than his one against the Yankees back in June. In that game, the Yankees were putting pressure on Shields all game. They had the bases loaded, nobody out in one inning. They had runners all over the place, and they only scored one. They went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position against Shields. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight, so not as many opportunities as they had in June. And yet, when they have had opportunities in typical James Shields fashion, he comes up with the right pitch at the right time.
That's right, 3-2. Last time he threw this pitch, he hit a homer. Is he going to challenge him again?
Beltran runs, a strikeout, and a throwout.
No, he pulled the string on him.
J.D. Drew was looking fastball.
Perfect pitch by James Shields and an excellent throw by Salvi. I mean, you can't put it any better. Ooh-wee, that's nice.
Strike him out, throw him out.
Not a whole lot of offense. And we told you earlier the Yankees have struggled to score runs. But they have a 1-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning tonight. Derek Jeter in his final regular season game at Kauffman Stadium has driven in one of the runs. Our Sonic Slam inning contestant is Jessica Whitson from Independence, Missouri. And if the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Jessica wins $4,500. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Jessica wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
Pulling for you, Jessica. Now I got the speed guys coming up. See if they can get something happening here. Ooh. Esky guessing fastball. Guessed wrong.
And with the speed guys coming up, we should mention you can win the pot with an inside the park home run. You cannot win with an inside the park grand slam, even though the Royals have never had an inside the park grand slam in their history.
Glad you clarified that. Yep. Just need to get some guys on. especially these speed guys that can steal. Not going to happen.
Escobar is 0 for 2. The Royals in Fox Sports Kansas City are giving you one more chance to join the B Royal Fan Express. The next stop is Omaha. That's coming up in 5 days on the 30th. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information.
All aboard.
Gerard Dyson has an infield single, and he is grounded out. His batting average right now is .290, but more importantly for him, his on base percentage is just under .350. And for some, that's an important mark. Once you get over .350, then you really start paying attention to somebody who is getting on as in a first tier rate, if you will. And Dyson's been walking more lately. He had walks in 5 straight games, at least games he was in on the last road trip. Hitting more balls on the ground, not bunting a whole lot. He shows bunt. That's something you and I have discussed quite a bit, that Dyson, and maybe this is the next step for him, unlike some of the great bunters that you've seen and I've seen, showing bunt and it's not a strike, that would not deter them. Those hitters would still try and lay one down, but more times than not, Dyson, I think, feels like he's let the cat out of the bag and won't square around after that. But wide bunt when you can slap it through the left side. He has a 2-hit game, and he's on with 1 out.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. One of the reasons he's not bunting as much is because he's hitting. He's slashing and dashing. He's got the top of the ball. He's finding holes. Sometimes hitters get in that groove. They say, man, I'm not going to bunt when I'm just as confident hitting on top of the ball, just like that. Now, Zealous Wheeler, the third baseman, he was in on the grass on Escobar, but he was way on the grass on Dyson. Now let's see if Gerard Dyson can somehow find a way to get into scoring position here with that great speed.
Pineda has picked him off tonight. And Fonte is flied to left and flied to right. Royals are just starting their 3rd time through the order against Pineda. Very tough first time. I guess the time to get him is 2nd time through. He gets better 3rd time through the lineup.
Now Brian McCann, Yankee catcher, he's 2nd in best throwing out percentage of base runners. He's 34.6. So he's a good catch and throw guy. He'll help Pineda.
Tried to tempt Dyson to go, and the pitch out just makes it ball 1.
Dyson's probably saying to himself, I don't run on pitch outs. But with his kind of speed, catcher still has to come up with a perfect throw.
Looked like he wanted to go. He flinched. Maybe didn't get the traction that he wanted. 2-0 to Infante.
Yep, didn't get the jump. Now Infante, he's always going to take a few pitches when you have a guy like Dyson out there ahead of him. Take a few pitches, give him an opportunity. But 2-0, the way he loves that fastball, he'll be jumping on this one if it's over the middle of the plate. He'll be swinging.
Timeout was called at home plate.
Most of the time, pitchers like to throw fastballs to get the ball home quicker when there's a good base stealer out there.
Now he's running. Pitch is a strike, and the throw is late.
'29th bag. Throw by McCann was way up towards the first base side of the bag. Jeter couldn't get the tag on him, although Jeter might have thinking that he caught him on the ankle before he got there. And Joe Girardi's going to replay it, or at least ask for one. He's saying that he tagged his foot before he got to the base. Big play in the game, or a big call in the game coming up. So obviously Girardi got the thumbs down from his dugout. I think Jeter missed him.
Two and one on Infante.
Infante's got a big hole on the right side.
McCann wanted that. He held it out there for Lance Barrett, the home plate umpire. It's 3-1.
With second baseman Drew nervous about Dyson stealing, he's keeping him close, but he's giving up some ground over there on that right side. Infante, a .275 hitter with a runner in scoring position. That's a fastball down the middle, and Infante took a shot for that hole. He was behind the ball. Looked like he was trying to hit that ball to the opposite field.
Tigers have passed the Royals as far as batting average with runners in scoring position. Since the break, the Royals have hit right at 300 with runners in scoring position, and this is their leading RBI man at the plate. Dyson to third. Suzuki still has a good arm, maybe not what it once was, but Dyson will not challenge him, and there are two down. Alex struck out looking in the first inning and then grounded to first in the third. Big series against the Yankees for Alex back in June. He was on base 6 times in the 3 games, and he scored 7 times. And right now he's trying to get Dyson to the plate and tie the game. Oh, 0-1.
Yesterday in that final game against the Texas Rangers, the Royals only had 2 guys the whole game in scoring position. And tonight, same thing. 2 guys out there hoping they can capitalize here with 2 down.
One and one. Gotten Alex to chase that pitch a few times tonight.
And he'll likely stay with it.
keeps getting him to swing over the top of it.
Pineda snow cones it and gets Alex to end the inning. The Royals get a single from Dyson. Pineda has retired 12 of the last 13. Yankees lead 2-1 as we head to the 7th inning. Remember, we're going to celebrate Irish Heritage Night coming up on Wednesday, and that night will feature authentic Irish music, entertainment, and activities for the whole family. And the first 10,000 fans receive this Shamrock Cup set, courtesy of Fox Sports Kansas City. And for special ticket deals, visit Royals.com/Irish. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Take a look at our starters comparison for tonight. Good comparison. Both pitchers have pitched well with good pitch counts, low pitch counts. Shields has given up just one more run than Pineda.
Nail biter.
Martin Prado is 1 for 2.
Something tells me we're going to see a lot more of these games. 32 left after tonight.
Prado down in the count 1-2 in the 4th inning. He's able to stay with a changeup, and he doubled up the left field line. That pitch stayed up, and now Prado drives it to left field, and that is a home run. Martin Prado hits the Yankees' second home run tonight, and the New York lead is 3-1.
Prado, he's doing a lot for the Yankees, kind of like Willingham is doing for the Royals. Been extremely productive. That ball's inside. He's able to pull his hands in and barrel it. I mean, got underneath it, hit it to a nice part of the yard where it's hard to hit homers. He got up under it enough.
And now Headley hits it into right center field. Kane on it quickly, and Headley takes a wide turn. He'll hold with a single.
Talk about Prado and his numbers over his last 8 games. 406 average coming in, 7 runs, now 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. He also had a walk-off mixed in there on Friday versus the White Sox. So Prado's added a little bit of offense for the Bombers.
Suzuki's had a couple of good swings tonight. Shields jumps ahead. Suzuki grounded back to Shields in the 3rd inning. A ball deflected by Shields, and then James, in trying to throw out Suzuki, threw it away. And then in the 4th inning, Suzuki flied out to deep center field. One and one.
The Yankees don't exactly have a 3 back into the bullpen 3 guys like the Royals do with Herrera, Davis, and Holland, but they've got a pretty good tandem in Dylan Betances and David Robertson at the end of their bullpen. It'll be tough. I'm sure the Royals will see some of that here in the next few innings.
Escobar will go to first. The throw is high, and Suzuki got under the tag. It's a base hit for Suzuki. 2 on, nobody out.
In Suzuki's earlier days, you'd almost put that in your pocket. Now, he has slowed down a little bit, and we'll give him that credit for aging, but he still has that good speed. Really nice try on the tag. See how Ichiro, he knew the throw was coming off the bag. He reads the first baseman, and he ducked underneath the tag. Runners can see by watching the first baseman where the throw's coming from and how where it's taking him.
Well, they got Wheeler to square around. Zealous Wheeler has 1 sacrifice bunt for the Yankees, and just looking at his minor league career, he averaged about 2 sacrifice bunts a year, so he doesn't do it a lot. And he takes outside, ball 1.
So the Yankees want to move the runners here. It's a smart thing to do here. Already have a 2-run lead this late in the game at the back end of their pin. Royals have a little wheel play going. That's where the 3rd baseman crashes. 3rd baseman comes in, shortstop goes to 3rd, try to get the force at 3rd. He bunts it to 3rd.
Shields will go to 3rd.
Okay, that time they stayed home. There was no wheel play on the first attempt. Not a good bunt. Moose stayed home. Went back to the base. James Shields, a good fielder, nice athlete. Perfect throw.
Jacoby Ellsbury singled in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 3. He has Suzuki at second base, Wheeler at first. The Yankees have scored in the inning on a home run by Prado. Grounded through the right side. Suzuki will be waved home. They're going to run on Kane. Lorenzo's throw is late. The Yankees lead 4-1.
Jacoby Ellsbury, he's been looking on the inner half of the plate the whole night. First time up, he got his base hit. It was up the middle, but he pulled several to the right side, and he got one there. Rob Thompson, the third base coach, he was undecided until the last minute, and then he waved Ichiro home.
Dave Island out to allow Shields to catch his breath, then allow Francisco Bueno to start warming up. Right hand hitting Derek Jeter's coming up. After that, left hand batter with some power, Brian McCann. Jeter tonight has grounded out to Escobar at short 3 times. One of those ground balls produced a run. That was in the 3rd inning. Numbers don't really change for Jeter with runners in scoring position. 263 overall, 267 with runners in scoring position. Up the middle and off of Shields' foot, and that's out into left field. So if that gets through, that might have been another ground ball to short and possibly a double play. Instead, the Yankees get their 3rd run of the inning, and they lead 5-1.
Like Infante might have had the closest opportunity had that got through, but James Shields didn't mean to do it. You see some pitchers stick their foot out intentionally to try to do that, but he had his glove right behind his foot. He was going to field it. See how that ball has a topspin on it. Escobar couldn't get it on the rebound.
Ellsbury saw that coming. He gets back easily. In fact, immediately smiles into his dugout as if somebody had just warned him. So Ned stays with Shields. And McCann hits it into shallow right. Ellsbury tags. Baines throws a good one. And they've got him at home plate.
I'm sure Joe will have a replay on this one. Looked like Ellsbury might have gotten his foot in there before the tag, but a great throw by Kane and super tag by Salvador.
The Yankees are not quite Bill Duplessis speed.
No, they're not. Tells you how
Royals replay coordinator.
Tells you how good our guy is, Billy.
It's the 2nd time tonight. I mean, they were thinking about the play at second base earlier in the game, and that took forever just to find out they weren't going to challenge, and now they will. We talked about this yesterday in Texas, where at this point in the game, some teams are taking the approach that this is really a no-lose challenge. Now remember, the Yankees did not use their challenge earlier, so they're using it here. However, 7th inning or later, you can always ask the umpire if they will challenge. And I have not heard of an occasion where an umpire has denied a team, because no umpiring crew wants to be the first one raked over the coals for not challenging a play.
Well, Lance Barrett, home plate umpire, he was right over the top of that.
Yeah, it looks like It looks like the front foot got in, and Sal's first contact was with the back foot.
You know, before this year, the catcher slides his left leg, his shin guard in front of the plate, and he blocks the runner off. That's always been a part of the game in the history of baseball until this year. So Salvi giving him some sliding lane there. And to me, it looked like he was safe before the replays.
So right now it's a double play. Fly ball right field. Kane connecting with Perez to end the inning and make it 5-1 New York. And now they're going to overturn the call, so it is 6-1 New York. And Brian McCann gets an RBI with a sacrifice fly. Two minutes. Time for review. And the Yankees have scored 4 in the 7th inning. Carlos Beltran is the 8th Yankee to come up in the inning. Was that a swing? It was. Ed Hickox is the third base umpire. Strike one.
Good call.
Oh, and 2. Beltran is 1 for 3 tonight. If some of you want to feel old tonight, can you believe it was 15 years ago when Carlos Beltran was Rookie of the Year? And the last time he played for the Royals was 10 years ago. Just doesn't seem possible. He is just the 8th player in Major League history with at least 300 home runs and at least 300 stolen bases, not running like he used to. And he's the only switch hitter in Major League history to accomplish that.
Quite a career.
Royals minor league player of the year in 1998, got to the big leagues that year with the Royals 98 to 2004, to the Astros, to the Mets, to the Cardinals, to the Yankees. Jeter at first. He'll be running. Beltran walks. And now 9 will come to the plate for New York. But they will not face James Shields. Number 9 will not face James Shields. So left-hand hitting Stephen Drew coming up. And Ned Yost points to the bullpen to get Francisco Bueno. Chevy call to the bullpen. New York has a 6-1 lead in the 7th inning. 4 infielders gathered around a runner at second base during a pitching change. And while some may think that's disrespectful to the pitcher who just gave up 4 runs and left the game, I think that was more 4 younger players showing respect to Derek Jeter.
Take him to lunch.
Bueno in to face Stephen Drew, who was 1 for 3 with a home run against Shields. The inning began with a home run from Martin Prado. Ellsbury, Jeter, and McCann have driven in runs. Ellsbury with a single, Jeter with a single, McCann with a sacrifice fly for a 4-run 7th inning, and now Bueno is 2-0 against Stephen Drew. Ninth time this year the Yankees have batted around. Shields had given up just 2 runs 5 hits before this inning, and now 4 runs 5 hits in the 7th, getting just 2 outs. And now 3-1 on Drew. You think the Royals have had their problems on offense this year? The Yankees have batted around 9 times, including tonight. You know, the Royals have batted around 22 times this year. Three and two.
Nice breaker. Comes back with it again here.
Runners take off, and it's lifted to left center field. Dyson wants it. That's the inning. 9 come to the plate. The Yankees get 4. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. New York has a 5-run lead.
Come Tickets for Less is your trusted source for all tickets and still has great lower level tickets between the bases for all remaining Royals games. Check out ticketsforless.com for all your Royals tickets. She is having fun. Look at that. Dad took the wifey there, took care of himself first. Now he's taking care of her. They are having a very good time at this game. Hey guys, wanted to give a birthday shout out to Jean Antis, 92 years old today, and I'm told she watches every Royals game every single night. So happy birthday, happy 92nd birthday to Jean.
Happy birthday, Gene. Thank you for that, Joel. Billy Butler, Salvador Perez, and Raul Ibanez trying to get to Michael Pineda. Pineda has allowed very little tonight. Infield single in the first inning. Single to center in the second inning. Moustakas homered against him in the third. And from there, he went on to retire 10 in a row. 0-2 on Billy.
Now, the Royals aren't the only ones feeling Pineda's gas and his heat and his slider, all them good pitches he's got. He's given up just a .212 opponent's average in his career. Michael Pineda. There are not a whole lot of teams hitting him.
He has only given up 4 hits, trying to extend a very impressive streak. Fouled away by Billy. Here's what Hud was talking about. Lowest career opponent's batting average with at least 30 starts, and there are only 3 pitchers in front of him. He has gone 14 straight starts, allowing 6 hits or less. That's the longest streak in the major leagues, as Billy lifts it toward right center field, and Suzuki will bring it down. Billy is 1 for 3. We were touching on this earlier. Pineda is from the Mariners organization. They signed him as a 16-year-old, 2-time minor league pitcher of the year, so big expectations when he got to the big leagues in 2011, and he did not disappoint. And then the Mariners traded him away. They were very deep with their pitching. The Yankees needed some pitching, and the Mariners pried away what was, to some people, the Yankees' #1 minor league hitting prospect. Yankees needed pitching, the Mariners needed offense. And if they say the best trades are the ones that work for both teams, this was a trade that did not work for either team. But while the Mariners maybe have given up long term on Jesus Montero, Michael Pineda is showing the Yankees and the league what he can still do when he's healthy.
Better believe it.
And I say it didn't work for the Yankees because Pineda had shoulder surgery before throwing his first pitch, and that wiped out his entire 2012 season. Ellsbury back, and it's over his head. Sal finally gets a base hit on a hard hit ball. That's his 3rd line drive tonight. He has lined out twice, and now he's on with a 1-out double.
Salvi squared that one up. If he gets underneath that a little bit more, he might have cleared the fence in center. That ball was stepped on. Good extension. Caught it out front. Guessed right. No chance Ellsbury's going to catch that. There's not a center fielder in the world that would catch that one.
96 pitches for Pineda. That's a season high, and the Yankees have been very careful with him since coming back from the disabled list. So he may have had the opportunity to pitch the 7th if he went 1-2-3, but now with a man on and some left-hand bats coming up, Joe Girardi will make a Chevy call to the bullpen and bring in David Huff. His streak in the major leagues, out after 96 pitches. And lefty David Huff is out of the Yankee bullpen for the 24th time this year, and Ned Yost will counter that move, as Huff was going to face Raul Ibanez. Instead, he'll get Josh Willingham.
Now, those 3 home runs that Huff has given up have all been to right-handers with a .224 average. Willingham, 2 for 6 on the season as a pinch hitter, 1 for 4 with the Royals. Excuse me, 1 for 2 with the Royals. He was 1 for 4 with Minnesota.
Ibanez was 0 for 2.
David Huff will go 90 to 93 with his fastball, slider, and a changeup.
One and one. Two and one on Willingham. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Huff, once a first-round draft pick of the Indians. Royals have seen quite a bit of him pitching for Cleveland out of UCLA. He has spent some time on the disabled list this year. He had a left quadriceps injury back in April. Got under it. And Ellsbury makes the play for the second out. I mentioned the injury to David Huff. The Yankees have really been hit hard the last 2 years with injuries. By August the 1st, they had used 31 pitchers. And we saw Michael Pineda pitch tonight and pitch well tonight. The Yankees were really hit in their starting rotation. Ivan Nova was done for the year very early in the season. CC Sabathia is done for the year with a knee problem, and then Pineda was on the disabled list. Up the middle, backhanded Drew, no play, but he keeps it on the infield, so Sal has to hold it third as Kane has his first hit of the night.
21st infield hit for Lorenzo Cain. He really goes hard to first base, and he's got tremendous speed. Anything like he hits off his bat to an infielder's left or right, he's digging hard. Drew wouldn't have had a chance to get him. Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Moose electrified the crowd, got the Royals on the board to tie it up in the 3rd inning with his 15th home run.
Fastball over the outside, strike one. Royals have homered in 5 consecutive games with that Moustakas home run, and in 7 of their last 8 games. Chance to get the Royals right back into it here with Perez at third and Kane at first with 2 down. The Yankees just scored 4 in the top of the 7th. That gets some fans out of their seats, but Ellsbury makes the play, and that's the inning. The Royals strand 2 at the end of 7. New York leads 6-1.
Blasted by Baltimore. Oakland shutting out Houston, Miami, and LA. Texas and Seattle yet to begin. And as for that Baltimore game, our Monster Game Break takes us to Camden Yards. It was home run derby for the Orioles. 5 different O's going deep in this one, including Delman Young. Rough start for the former Royal Jake Odorizzi, who has been really good for his team much of this year, especially lately. 4 innings, 11 hits, 8 earned runs, and 4 homers. That is a game that both the Royals and the Yankees would probably like to see go the other way, as the Yankees a little ways out chasing the Orioles 6 back, and the Royals chasing Baltimore for that 2nd seed in the playoffs.
Thank you, Joel. As Martin Prado grounds out to Infante. He started that 4-run 7th inning with a home run. He is 2 for 4 with that ground out. Now Chase Headley will switch over to the right side against Bueno. As a left-hand batter, he was 1 for 3. San Diego Padres were waiting and waiting and waiting on Chase Headley. And when you talked about the Padres for many years, he was one of the bright lights in their farm system. And then in the second half of 2012, he gave the Padres what they were hoping for. And when the year was over, he had 31 home runs, led the National League with 115 RBIs.
Wow. Big season, especially in that ballpark. San Diego, tough to hit homers there.
He had some injury problems last year. He had surgery on his left thumb. And then he was also bothered by a bad knee, and he had to have surgery on that when last year was over. So he hasn't been able to match what he did that 2012 season. Grounds it to Moustakas. Headley is out. He's 1 for 4. Don't forget, tomorrow night the Minnesota Twins are here, and if you want to watch the game on TV, It will be shown on Fox Sports 1 or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Our Steve Physiak will be calling that game with the Minnesota Twins regular television analyst Bert Blyleven. So the Royals are getting some national TV exposure tonight on another network, on Fox Sports 1 nationally tomorrow, and then will be the national game of the week on Sunday. Bueno gets through the Yankees quickly in the 8th inning. Royals have 6 outs to go on offense and trail New York by 5. Royals baseball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. Check out the huge selection of F-150s at thoroughbredford.com. Remember, you can now enjoy unique experiences every time you come out to Kauffman Stadium with our new Royals Fan Memories program. A variety of on-the-field opportunities will be available for purchase each homestand exclusively through the MLB.com at the ballpark app. Go to Royals.com/memories for more information. Escobar, Dyson, and Fonte in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back to David Huff. He came on in relief with 1 out in the 7th and gets Escobar. Esky is 0 for 3. On a warm, steamy night in Kansas City. You know it's summer in Kansas City when people are saying, well, just wait till Thursday. It's only going to be 92.
Yeah. I saw that. It's cool off a little.
It's only appropriate that we have a smoking hot night in Kansas City and Ichiro Suzuki's here. And we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
0-2. It was his first year in the big leagues, 2001. It's hot and humid in Japan, so it's not like the heat and the humidity was anything new to Ichiro Suzuki, but as we all know, it can be a bit extreme here. Always felt that Kansas City is one of the most underrated hot spots in Major League Baseball, unless guys have played here. But Ichiro was asked in 2001 how to sum up the heat in Kansas City, and I never heard somebody sum it up that way. David Huff has a very quick bottom of the 8th inning. Escobar, Dyson, and Infante down in order, and we go to the 8th. The Yankees lead 6-1. Will pitch the 9th. He got the final out of the 4-run 7th. Got through the Yankees quickly in the 8th, and we'll get Zealous Wheeler, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Derek Jeter. Zealous Wheeler. I think that's one of the better names in Yankees history.
Interesting.
That's Michael Kay, who is the longtime television voice and before that radio voice of the Yankees. And I was talking to Michael before the game tonight. I said, is that the best Yankee name that you can remember? Zealous Wheeler. That's Wheeler's first hit tonight. And he thought about it for a moment. He says, you know, I was always partial to Alvaro Espinoza. And when he said it, I could almost hear Bob Shepard's voice, the great longtime public address announcer for the Yankees. And unfortunately for us, I don't think we're going to hear Bob Shepard's voice announce a hitter's name. Shepard passed away years ago, but Derek Jeter, to honor Bob Shepard, has always used his voice. As Jacoby Ellsbury goes into the right field corner, he has driven in 3 tonight, and that gives the Yankees an 8-1 lead. 3rd home run for the Yankees tonight at Kauffman Stadium. You want to talk about the Ellsbury home run?
Sure. I'd rather talk about Bob Shepard.
Well, okay, then we'll talk about Bob Shepard.
Yeah, Bob Shepard. He was a legend.
Did you get the goosebumps?
Yeah, you know, when you were asking Michael Kay, I could hear Michael Kay. I could hear Bob Shepard's voice in Michael Kay, but you know who his favorite name to announce ever was? Shigetoshi Hasagawa.
How about that? You got Royals and Yankees fans chanting Derek Jeter's name in what could be his last at bat at Kauffman Stadium. Last regular season game. We never know, it might happen in the postseason. Boy, and just watch the flashes pop before every pitch as both Royals and Yankee fans want to capture this moment. But anyway, Bob Shepard, who passed away years ago, Derek Jeter, who obviously has had a great career and respects the game, he has used Bob Shepard's voice to announce him at Yankee Stadium even after his passing. So when Derek Jeter's gone, we won't hear Bob Shepard's name announce a Yankee player at the stadium. And in typical Jeter fashion, he's running hard up the line, and now the fans here in Kansas City have a last chance to say goodbye. Did you get the goosebumps the first time you heard now batting Rex Hudler?
Number 56.
Was that your number?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, he could have.
It was
amazing. At the Meadowlands, he could have easily said, at left guard for the Giants, number 56,
yeah.
Hudler.
Actually, that was when LT was putting rock concerts on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So fans would mess with me, calling me LT, but you know, it's a pretty cool place to play, and you know, players have no control. I had no control that they drafted me. Of course, it was a huge mistake on their part, but when I finally got there, you know, you walk through the hallways, you have a locker in that prestigious locker room there, and then when you get out there on the field and he announces your name, that really made me swallow 2 or 3 different times. It's really was a special moment.
Bruce Chen comes on with a runner at first, 1 down in the 9th inning. we'll get Carlos Beltran. It was a 2-1 game until the top of the 7th inning, and now the Yankees have scored 6 in the last 3 innings. Beltran is 1 for 3 with a walk. We were talking about Bob Shepard, and you had mentioned before Jeter came up that his favorite name was a relief pitcher with mostly the Angels and the Mariners, a Japanese relief pitcher, and it was full of syllables. Shigetoshi Hasegawa.
Yep, that's what he said is his all-time favorite name.
Dyson will make the play in center field, 2 down. Just to take the story full circle, as Michael Kay and I were chatting about Zealous Wheeler, I was trying to imagine in my mind Bob Shepard. He would have had a lot of fun with that name. He was what, I believe an English professor, wasn't he?
He was a man of words, and when I would broadcast for the Angels, I would go over there before the game and sit in this little sound booth that he had, and he was always by himself reading a book. And I would pick his brain and ask him, and he had kids that went on and they all became English majors as well, and well spoken, but very approachable. He's always by himself in his little sound booth, but it was really a special treat for me to be able to just go in there. He'd let me in, he knew who I was. And we would just talk for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'd pick his brain. And people like that around the game that have experience, it's really fun to be able to sit down with them whenever you can, ask them questions, pick their brain about certain things. And that's one of the many great things about this game of baseball, especially the veterans who have been around and been in it. Pete Sheehy was another big Yankee. He has a plaque outside of that Yankee locker room, and he was the clubhouse attendant there for years since Babe Ruth was there. He lived to be, in his late 90s.
Chen gets the last 2 outs. The Yankees get 2 more runs, and the Royals are down by 7 as they come up in the bottom of the 9th. Tokyo tonight. Ichiro Suzuki playing, and of course they try and plan ahead, and I'm sure they were hoping that Nori Aoki would be in the lineup tonight. He was not for the Royals. Yankees have a couple of Japanese pitchers, Hiroki Kuroda. Brendan Ryan is now at second base, and Stephen Drew moves over to shortstop. Masahiro Tanaka was a big sensation this year with the Yankees, and now he's on the disabled list with an elbow injury. David Huff got the final 2 outs of the 7th inning, a scoreless 8th, and now stays on for the 9th.
You know, they're still counting on Tanaka. Still a chance he might could come back. That would really help them a lot, especially if he could show the form. It's a nice base hit to the opposite field for Alex.
Phillies 1 for 3 tonight with a single back in the 2nd inning. Yankees scored first. They got a run in the 3rd. Royals came right back, as they often have this year, and tied it in the bottom of the 3rd on Moustakas' home run. But that was the last run the Royals scored. Yankees took the lead in the 4th with a run. 4 runs in the 7th, 2 runs in the 9th. Ellsbury started back. He'll correct and make the play for the first out. Yankees are 2 outs away from tying their season high with a 5-game winning streak. Nobody is as hot as the Royals, but looking at the best record since the All-Star break in the major leagues, they're the Yankees in the top 5. A lot of teams in the American League turning things on in the second half. The Royals, the Orioles, the Rays, the Yankees, and the Mariners among the top 6.
Well, hopefully they just continue on winning when they leave here. Go to Detroit next. They can put it on the Tigers, and the Royals can find a way to get through Minnesota.
Tigers are off tonight, in case you were wondering. Baltimore, whom the Royals are trying to pass for the 2nd seed in the playoffs, they won at home against Tampa Bay 9-1. Sal is 1 for 3. He could easily be 3 for 3. He is lined to second, lined to third, and finally then lined to double over the center fielder Ellsbury. Two and 1.
Royals get to see Pineda again on Friday, September 7th. First game up in New York. September 5th, I believe that is.
Soft liner and caught by Ryan. 2 down.
Yep, September 5th. It'll be James Shields and Pineda.
So 2 down to Willingham, who took over as the DH with a pinch hit fly to center in the 7th inning. Alex takes off. The Yankees will allow him to do so. No stolen base. How good have the Royals been lately? The last time the Royals lost back-to-back games was almost a month ago. Just short of a month ago. Royals lost a game against Cleveland here, and then the first game against Minnesota. Now they won both of those series, but the two losses were in back-to-back games. Wide open right side, but Ryan gets it and throws out Willingham. So the Yankees continue to roll. They've won 5 in a row. That completes this series at Kauffman Stadium. 2 wins apiece for the Royals and the Yankees, and we'll see them again on the next road trip. Derek Jeter, his final regular season game at Kauffman Stadium, finished with 232 career plate appearances here, including an inside the park home run. He had a couple of RBIs tonight in the Yankees' 8-1 victory. We'll be right back.